meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Neil.
I'm Olivia. How are you today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm great. So, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm Neil. I'm going to Western Washington University right now. I'm working on my kinesiology bachelor's degree. I'm currently in my senior year, about a year and a half in. I'm health and fitness specialist, and I've pretty much been passionate about fitness my entire life. I started out pretty young, playing baseball when I was a child. I've done soccer, I've done basketball, I've dabbled in track and field. I pole vaulted for about a year. I've gone to open track meets at the local track and field. I did crew for 3 years during my high school. And during my college years, I basically weightlifted, and I'm getting more into like the functional, just living the active lifestyle, staying fit, not necessarily focusing on one exercise medium.
Awesome. So with that, could you tell me some of your greatest strengths?
Yeah, I think some of my greatest strengths are compassion, empathy, because during my life experience, I've met people and I've been in situations that have helped me realize that problems are more multifaceted than a lot of people let on or say they are.
Awesome. What are your weaknesses?
Well, one of them is lack of experience in the field I want to go into, but I think that would be a good opportunity for me to gain experience, and it leaves me open to learning new things because I haven't had the ability to create habits, good or bad, so I'm malleable in that way.
Yeah,
And I think another weakness of mine is I can be too laid back sometimes, but I try to work on that by trying to listen to people when they call me out on the things I do. And I think joining a degree that I'm passionate about and interested in and invested in has helped me work with a lot of people who aren't as laid back, and helped me realize that to really get things done, you need many viewpoints.
So why do you want to work here?
Well, I want to work here because, as I said before, I'm passionate about fitness, and I really want the opportunity to help people in their fitness journey. And I think I want to teach people that it's not necessarily the result, the end finish. It's more of the journey, because everyone wants, six-pack abs, a shredded whatever, basically. But you can't have that until you go through the journey, which is like, oh, I lifted 30 pounds when I could lift 25 last week, or I ran an extra mile. And I want people to become as passionate as I am about it. And I realize that not everyone will be, but if I can help a few people, I think that's a success.
Good. So, could you describe a difficult issue that you've had in your career or in the past, and what you did to overcome it?
Yeah, so in my previous job on the farm, as you may have seen the resume, I was digging a trench to put some electrical conduit in for a new building, and boss said everything's clear. We mapped out the place. There's nothing you can hit, but nonetheless, I did hit a water line, and what are you gonna do? So I called the boss, rang him up. What do I do? And he's like, oh, there's a water shut-off valve up by the road. You gotta go access and shut off the water. So I go find that, and the handle is rusted on, so basically I can't turn it at all. So I have to get all the tools at my disposal and try to turn this thing, get the water off, and eventually it's not working. So I have to call up my coworker, and we wrestle with it for about 15 minutes, and then finally we get it off. And then so the water's off now, but it goes to a house on the neighbors, which, it's relatively important. We need water to get water back to them.
Mhm.
So I had to go cap this broken water line out, so I had to go find all the fixings to do that. And eventually I did that, and yeah, that was my biggest problem there probably.
Yeah. Oh, that is a big problem. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I see myself hopefully working at a pretty reputable gym or fitness company, moving up the ranks, trying to have my own clients, maybe, something like that, or owning my own gym, or something like that, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So who is your biggest fitness inspiration, and can you tell me why?
I think one of my biggest influences is probably Zac Efron, just because he stays in great shape pretty much all year round. I don't believe he takes drugs at all to reach his physique levels, and I think it can be attained naturally by anyone who wants it well enough. So, yeah.
So what does success mean to you?
Success, I think success, maybe not necessarily reaching your top goal. I think it's trying your best and working with what you have that defines success, because, let's be honest, we all set lofty goals for ourselves. We don't always reach them, but if we can reach close to it, then I think that's successful.
Great. So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, when did you start working here?
I started working here about 6 years ago. Yeah.
Sweet. And how many clients do you get per day-ish?
Per day I have about 8 to 11 clients, depending on the day, or if anyone has any health problems or they can't come in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, that's all that I have for you. So
All right,
thanks for meeting with me. Yeah. Done. You asked me that question.